Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode here on the channel. I hope you all have a great day. We have some breaking news this weekend coming into an elimination race here from Bristol, and that is NASCAR has fined Chris Buescher $50,000 and has placed him on probation for 3 races following, well, calling me out and then proceeding to wreck me on more than one occasion in the race last weekend in Gateway. They deemed the Gateway incident, the second one where he spun me around, to be intentional through SMT data, and therefore they have dropped a fine of $50,000 on him. No suspension. It wasn't like he right hooked me or put me into the wall at a high-speed track or anything, so I understand that, and I accept that from NASCAR, and, we're going to move on, and, there's certainly going to be a time and a place where I think we're going to make life a little bit difficult on Chris Buescher, and it's not going to be here in Bristol because he won the playoff opener in Darlington. Therefore, he's already locked into the next round of the playoffs, so, I mean, it would make no sense for me to really make his life difficult here when he doesn't even need to be here in the first place. We're just going to focus on having a strong race. Now, Bristol is one of the tougher tracks here in NASCAR 25, so we're coming off of some really strong performances as of late. We might struggle a little bit more here this weekend, but I actually made some adjustments here mid-practice and got the car driving a little bit better, and overall, by the end of practice, I was in a happier spot with the handling, as well, by the way, completely forgot to mention, new sponsor on the car, as you see as well, but you also saw we were at the bottom there of the order in practice, unfortunately, now, as you see the rest of your practice order. How about Chase Elliott actually at the top of the board? Good to see him up there in still what is a winless season now as we come through into Bristol qualifying. Now we got a brand new paint scheme, orange, black, and white here on the cars. We got 2 laps to make a lap time now, with that sponsor goal still remaining the same of just scoring a top 25. This sponsor only gives us like $5,000 extra per race, but that will add up throughout the rest of the season as we hit a 15.477 on lap 1, which was my fastest lap of the weekend so far, so saved it for the right time as we continue here now to turn number 3 up into the outside wall, unfortunately, and as we head down the front stretch, that's going to kill our time, so we'll end up P23 banking off of lap number 1 here, so that does put us in that top 25. Not bad. Could have been better. Denny Hamlin on pole. Kyle Larson shares the front row with them as you see the rest of the order. Bubba Wallace there in P10 needs to have a strong day as well to move on to the next round of the playoffs. As you see the bottom of the grid there, Elio Castroneves, as we get ready to go racing here on Saturday evening for some Bristol racing under the lights. I love this racetrack. It's not been a great racetrack for me here in NASCAR 25, but I am hopeful we can have a good run. We have, of course, had some success here, though, back in, the ARCA days, so we know we can have, some potential for some really good results here, as long as we just stick with it. I think we're going to have to continue to work on the car as well as the race goes on as usual, but here we go, ready to go racing now, as we'll be starting behind the 71 of Michael McDowell. The green flag is out. We're racing here from Bristol. The round of 16 elimination race is underway. 4 drivers will be eliminated here following tonight's race, and I would not be surprised if it's, the likes of Eric Jones, John Hunter Nemechek, Shane Van Gisbergen as well, and as we continue here out of turn 2 already. 3 wide in the middle. Briefly, we'll get up in there behind the 24th place, of the number 7 of Justin Haley. We've got 31 laps of racing here in stage 1, and right off the bat, I could tell that I wanted to make some more adjustments. What felt really good in practice and felt really good in qualifying, it felt decent, but I could tell where I was lacking compared to the AI on this track, and that was just the fact that they're able to immediately, right here, they can rotate their car a little bit better than I can, and they can fire off the corner a little bit better. So we're going to have to continue to work on this car. We're going to have to loosen it up a little bit more, and probably going to go in the direction of some tire pressure changes as well, just to get this thing overall to hook up a little bit more, rotate through the corner, and therefore I can throttle up a little bit earlier off the exit and carry some more momentum. But we would kind of settle in here in 20 29th position at this point now, as Cole Custer is battling with Ty Dillon. Shane Van Gisbergen is well behind us there in that WeatherTech number 88 now, as you can see. Haley, Suarez, Barry all in front of us, kind of opening up a gap here, but I was hopeful as the laps would continue on, I would maybe start to reel them in a little bit now. But one thing I noticed that I was doing is SVG has run me down now. I was really burning my right front tire here, and we were up into like 340 degrees on that right front tire, and that was absolutely destroying my pace through the corner. So I knew immediately I was going to have to settle things down on this right front and run a little bit lower on the racetrack, therefore reduce the load, reduce the corner speed as well, and get ourselves in a little bit better shape at this point now. So I would kind of migrate down to the inside at this point, and as we now really focus in on saving some right front tire, we're going to sacrifice a spot here to John Hunter Nemechek and then some. I mean, we got Stenhouse right here ready to pounce as well, but I mean, you can see our tire temperature has already dropped 20 degrees or so. It's down to into the 320s at this point. So we're making good progress, but I mean, I think that's just another thing that will get better as we make adjustments to this car to free it up. So we're just going to have to kind of go into survival mode here for the rest of the stage. And as we came to lap 17, I had finally gotten the right front cooled down a decent amount to, like, by the time we would get to the corner, you can see it was down to about 310 degrees. So things were a little bit better as I'm holding up the 10 of Ty Dillon. But I know we've got way more pace than 32nd right now. We just got to do a better job here on the right front tire, and then as well with the adjustments. So I would actually now, as I see Cole Custer coming up behind me, I said, okay, we're going to jump up to the top now, and we are already at 43% on that right front tire with 10 laps to go. So it should hang on, and we actually are starting to reel back in a little bit here. Nemechek as well as Stenhouse. Van Gisbergen's gotten past them both into 29th, and Nemechek, of course, is a playoff contender. Not looking good. It's not been a good playoff for both of the Legacy Motor Club drivers as we continue on at this point now within these final 10 laps of stage one. Just really trying to hang on at this point and get this thing home, and we'll be in good shape. Kyle Larson currently leads in that HendrickCars.com number 5. Not anymore, actually, as I say that. Denny Hamlin actually is going to take the lead back over here in that progressive number 11 now. As we come to lap 29, Larson, though, returns to the lead. I turned off my tire wear panel at that point, said I didn't really need to see it anymore. We just need to bring it home as we are rolling up on the back of Stenhouse and Van Gisbergen. Hamlin, he's coming up on the final lap here of stage number 1 as we continue to try and get closer and just get a little bit more of a learning opportunity on this final lap for this number 85 car, as Denny Hamlin looks like he's going to do it through turns 3 and 4. Denny Hamlin, he's going to take stage 1 here in this first and opening stage. It'll be Kyle Larson coming up behind him. 10th place will cross the line, and there's a caution. 32nd here in stage number 1. We have got some work to do, but I am confident with the changes we're going to make, because you know sometimes, and this is one of those sometimes where it's like, okay, I know exactly what I want to do with this car. So we're going to come in, we'll get the 4 tires, we'll get the feel, but we'll make a big wedge adjustment, and on top of that, we'll make some tire pressure adjustments as well. You see there, we go down to 20.0 on the left, or sorry, on the right. The left stay at 15. That's the lowest they can go. The wedge is at 48.5. Leaves a little room to where we don't go too far with the car, but of course we'll learn a little bit more and see if we want to go a little bit further, you know, come the end of stage 2. Here we go. Green flag is back out, and stage 2 kicks off here from Bristol. Once again, just like stage 1, we've got 31 laps of racing here as we head down this back straightaway, and you see we are now in the top 20 after all that happened, because for whatever reason, it's a Bristol issue only. It's got to be something to do with the simulation and then the 2 different pit lanes. It always completely screws up and shuffles the AI drivers. So now we're in the top 20 in front of Denny Hamlin, and big names like Blaney and Bell I can see just in my mirror. Buescher, by the way, I can see back there as well. So this kind of changes everything for us in a really good way, because now we don't have to fight our way through the field to get back some of that track position that we feel like we should be capable of doing. But obviously you can see here Ryan Blaney's going to go through. We are going to be losing some track position to a lot of these guys here. Denny Hamlin's going to be rolling through. We know he's fast. He just won the first and opening stage. Chase Elliott, Now, out in front, behind us as well, Buescher's coming. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of fast cars on the way. So, really my goal now is, okay, I'm going to spend a lot of the beginning laps of this stage running the bottom lane or middle, saving some of that right front tire on temperature and wear. And then once I feel like we've kind of gotten out of the way enough for some of these fast guys, we're really going to kind of settle in. We have run down Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And as you guys know, in stage 1, we watched Stenhouse pass us and drive away. We're not seeing that anymore. And I think I've got the pace to get in front of this 47 as Ryan Preece passes us, and here comes that number 17 Fastenal Ford. That's Chris Buescher there to my left rear now. I'm not going to make life too hard on him. I ran in front of him for a few laps, but like I said, there's not really a point in making life difficult for him in a race that doesn't even matter for him. We'll get him, you know, we'll get the favor, you know, kind of taken care of when the time counts and matters most for that 17, as he's going to go through now, and we continue to really just save this right front tire, already almost halfway through this second stage at this point now, and I was pretty happy with how we were doing on that right front. And as we come to lap 17 of the stage, Josh Berry now to my inside, but I mean, we're still in the top 25 comfortably. We're P21, and now we're rolling right up to the back of this 47, and things are starting to shift into the favor of this number 85 at this point. I'm feeling confident that we're going to be able to make a pass on this 47 of Stenhouse. The problem is you can't really like pass right here. You gotta like do a slide job, so you gotta be almost dead even with the car you're trying to pass into the corner if you're gonna actually complete it, because you gotta go for that slider. So it's a bit of a complicated overtake to make, because right here I'm not going to make the pass yet. So we're going to send it into turn 3 here, get alongside Stenhouse. William Byron now out in front, but as we head down towards turn 1, we're close enough to think about the slide job. Couldn't quite make it happen right there. Justin Haley is well looking to my inside. Surprisingly, we're going to clear the 47 into turn number 3, so we'll take P20. And now Justin Haley, though, to my inside, but we would get in front of him and stay clear, and we would quickly run down John Hunter Nemechek here in 19th position, and right on his back bumper on lap 26 of 31 here in stage 2. And at this point, again, trying to set him up just like we did with the 47. We'll get alongside, not quite close enough to go for the slide job now, so we'll just have to kind of keep rolling this middle lane. And as we pull alongside down the front straightaway, a little bit closer, I was thinking about it, but still wasn't confident. But here comes Barry again, Josh Berry to my inside. We're 3 wide off turn 2. Nearly some contact. We clear both of them into turn 3. We'll slide up in front of this 42 on the exit of turn number 4. And there we go into P19. But Josh Berry, he's got some good pace in that number 21 Ford Mustang there for Wood Brothers Racing. So unfortunately, we'll gain a spot, but we'll lose one to him. So he moves up into P19 as Kyle Larson's returned to the lead, starting the final lap already here of stage number 2. As we are in a really good spot now as we head down to front straightaway to start the final lap ourselves. Kyle Larson off turn 4. He'll take stage number 2 now as it's a crash behind us. The 7's gone around. Haley spins. Caution's going to come out regardless. I mean, it was pretty well coming out at the exact same time as 10th place crossing the line. Haley goes around, and we end up P20 here in stage 2. We'll be pitting for tires and fuel, and as well, again, looking at some potential adjustments, because I felt like, I mean, we made a huge step right there. Not just a good step forward. No, we made a really, really big step there. So I would end up deciding actually not changing anything for now. I was like, you know what? We were in a really good spot right there. Things were good. Let's just kind of hang out here and see how things go. We gained 5 spots going into stage 3, and Denny Hamlin again gets screwed over. So he has got a fast car, but he keeps getting screwed by these pit stops, and he's outside of the top 20 as stage 3 kicks off now. And basically, we're halfway through this race. So running this inside line, I'm okay with starting on the inside here, because it allows me to immediately kind of, you know, be in a position to kind of save this right front a little bit more. Obviously, another thing is that I kind of forgot to mention earlier is, of course, when you're on fresher tires, your corner speed at Bristol is so much higher regardless, so you are still putting more load, and that tire pressure or tire temperature is going to be a lot higher regardless of what you do. But and obviously, as the run goes on, it'll get lower just because you're slowing down a lot more in the corners as we go for a bit of a slide out of turn 4. But Kyle Larson again out in front. Is it Kyle Larson's day here in Bristol, as he of course is guaranteed to make it into the next round. He's already locked in on points now as we continue to run just in front of the 51. Cody Ware is into the top 20. That was kind of a bit of a, you know, an alert to me. I'm like, okay, we got to make sure we don't get passed by him at least. Here comes Joey Logano as around goes the 47 of Stenhouse. What in the world was that? We got to his back bumper, and it goes around.
road is open.
I don't think I turned him. I think he was in the process of, because that looked very AI crashy. I would think he was in the process of crashing, which is why I caught him so fast and got into his back bumper. So I don't think I caused that. I could be wrong. That was really weird, but we'll get ready to go back green nonetheless here from P18, and yeah, we'll return to racing. And you know, weird situation there. Stenos literally only loses like 2 spots. He's directly behind me as we start lap 70 here of 125. Larson continues to lead now up front. Now Cody Ware to my inside. We just got passed by Cody Ware here in Bristol. Not the words I expected to say, especially with, you know, how solid of a race this has turned into outside of stage 1. Chris Buescher to my inside here into turn number 1. Like I said earlier, we're not really focused on making his race rough here tonight. Now we'll drop to 21st. Now jumping to this middle lane. We got to try and roll past this 51. Ryan Blaney coming up here behind us as well. Denny Hamlin did a really good job on this restart, getting through some traffic. They're 3 wide behind us between Blaney, LaJoy, and Stenos. Blaney pulls alongside now as we head down the back straightaway. And now as we drop to 22nd, we're kind of in a little bit of trouble right here. Got ourselves in a bad spot on this restart, and I'm struggling to get past anybody. So right now things are not going so well. We drop down to 23rd. Gregson is now as well to my back bumper. Priest looking to my right rear as we go down this front straightaway. Bubba Wallace now. Bubba Wallace to the lead of this race here in Bristol as we're going to be 3 wide on the exit of turn 2. Gregson to my inside, and suddenly we're in a bit of a free fall here. Really an unexplained free fall, because I mean, we were doing so well, and it's almost like we just fell off a cliff, and not necessarily with our car, but it's like the AI have taken this step up around us, unfortunately, here as we're coming up on these, you know, final 50 laps of racing at this point. Obviously a little bit annoying of a situation we got ourselves in now, as we got another new leader of Chase Briscoe in that number 19. We're 3 wide again. The 7 comes up the racetrack into my door right there. Okay, you got to be aware of that. That 3rd car on the bottom seems to kind of crowd you a little bit now as we drop to 26, and we would continue to fall down the order down to 28th. Reddick and Cindric have both gone through as well, as now behind us you got Stenos and Custer as well. By the way, keep an eye on field. 30 laps of field. We cannot make it to the end of this race. We will have to pit before this race is over now, as here comes Daniel Suarez behind us. He's going 3 wide on the exit of turn 2. I think we're about to have to watch out for him as well as we continue racing alongside Priest. Here comes that 99. I'm going to kind of keep him from getting to my inside. They're staying clear. Now we are clear all the way around until we get back alongside the 60 here in turns 1 and 2. Suarez now to my inside as well as we head down this back straightaway. Suarez turns us. He turns us into the inside, nearly hitting the wall. That could have been a lot worse, and it turned out pretty good. We get spun around, and we are going to see some split strategy. We're gonna pit. We just got wrecked. Ty Dillon, Chastain at the minimum are gonna stay out. We have to make some repairs. A little bit annoyed by Daniel Suarez there, as I definitely held my line, and that 99 just kind of came up and spun us around. I did decide though to make some more tire pressure adjustments, and after that we gained spots. We just gained 6 spots, and Denny Hamlin again just lost even more ground. He is behind us again. He's in 27th place. We're right in front of Buescher. You got Blaney, you got Logano. They got some work to do here to go forward now as we restart, and we've got I think 4 cars to be exact stayed on the racetrack, and Noah Gragson leads. Up front is Cindric as well. I think he's in a desperation situation trying to make it into the next round of the playoffs. We know as well Chastain stayed out. Actually, I can't see where Chastain is from here, but we know he stayed on the racetrack, as now we're kind of given a second life here of like, okay, we can try to rebound pretty hard here as we continue now, coming to lap 88 at this point now, just less than 40 laps to go, and Ty Dillon's up there going for the lead of this race as well. I'm 3 wide again down the back straightaway. Thank you, Ryan Priest. Comes up into us, so it definitely seems like the car on the inside just comes up into the side of you, and that's pretty well why we got wrecked by Daniel Suarez now, and this is chaos here. The 2's going around. Cindric spinning off of turn 2. Several cars going to kind of slide into him. Cautions out. We're in 24th. Everybody is going to stay out here, and I think even the drivers that just stayed out are going to stay out again for this restart. So we'll be P24? No, we gained 4 spots. Okay, so those 4 drivers that stayed out originally have come into the pits right there. So that includes Chastain, Gregson, Ty Dillon, and I'm not sure the other one. But as we return to this race, we go back green, 93 laps in of 125, and we have hit a chaos part of this race. 3 crashes in this final stage so far. Will we see more? Now, William Byron is out in front in that Raptor number 24, as we'll be alongside Zane Smith here. P21 is where we stand. Denny Hamlin again has worked his way up into the top 10. It has been a race of attrition for that Kings Hawaiian number 11. I said progressive earlier. That is the orange Kings Hawaiian car, but nonetheless, he has done a great job, you know, time and time again in this race, rallying his way back forward as we continue on into these closing moments. Now coming up on 30 laps to go once we come back around to the start-finish line. Behind us, we've got Chris Buescher again. I feel like he's been behind us so much in this race, in that same situation as Denny Hamlin and, you know, Blaney, Logano all trying to pass us, and Blaney would get to the inside of myself and pass us there. He's on his way marching forward. Chase Elliott and Bubba Wallace both have been kind of hit hard by these restarts. They have been running top 10. They are now here barely inside the top 20, as now Buescher is going to look to my outside. Cindric as well coming up behind us. He pit after he brought out that caution and as well, so he's got fresh tires, as well as Chastain and Ty Dillon, and of course in Gregson as well. We know they all have fresher tires, so you can see Chastain and that black and red Moose number 1 coming up behind us, and I know I'm not really going to be able to fight him very hard, and sure enough, he would rip right on past us. Same as Cindric. They are looking pretty good here. We are close on fuel, but we will have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. The concern is not fuel. The concern is tires. The tires might not last until the end of this race. So not only me, but the rest of the field could be in a bit of trouble right here. And Austin Cindric has a lifeline. Cindric, who's right now the first driver on fresher tires, he as well as Chastain, Gregson, Ty Dillon, they can guaranteed make it to the end on tires. Cindric could win his way into the round of 12 right here. This could be a huge deal as we continue on within these final 20 laps of racing now. And here comes Gregson to my inside. So Cindric has to hold off Chastain, and up ahead you can see actually as we are mentioning that Chastain is passing that number 2, but we got still 20 laps of racing in this race. So plenty of time for things to develop now as they continue close together, and Gregson's going forward. We're still racing for a top 25 spot. Now my goal is to make it, as we do a slide job on the 0-1, my goal is to make it to the end here. I'm going to try and just grind this tire out here in a good way, of course. Now as Christopher Bell didn't realize he was still behind us, but he is now passing me to the inside, and Joey Logano as well is coming forward. So as we pass the 35, Bell's to my inside, and we are just barely inside that top 25 to meet the sponsor goal, and we know Logano's coming up, so that is going to be someone that's going to be pretty well guaranteed to pass us. You see now 32% on the right front with just over 10 laps to go. I think the tire is going to hang on, but it's not going to be easy. Here comes Tyler Reddick as well, another car up my inside here that I didn't even realize was behind us now, and down to 29% on the right front now. Concerns are starting to build. Who can make it, who can't now, as we are continuing into these closing laps. Will a tire give out? Someone going to crash? Will we get a caution? Who knows how this is going to go, but here we go. Pit stops are actually taking place on lap 119. We're to the inside of Stenhouse, and I'm still racing for, you know, top 25. But I mean, we're going to continue to stay out. My crew chief says pit now. We're not doing that. 19% on the right front, and we have got pit stops taking place. Buescher's in as well. Nothing matters for him. He's already locked in. SVG's just come into the pits, and you see on the track map, more cars are coming in. Here comes Reddick, Haley as well. The 60 of Priest in the final closing laps. They don't think their tires are going to hang on. They're not even going to try risking it. We've only got, you know, 45 seconds of racing just about left in this race now, as we continue on into the top 16 at this point now, as William Byron and Kyle Larson are continuing to battle it out for the lead. We go for a bit of a slide on the exit of turn 2. Fortunately, we save it. Something's gone on. Someone's around on turn 3 and 4. That's Bubba Wallace who's gone around. Caution is out. Oh boy. Oh boy. Logano, Gregson, Dillon staying out. Byron and others, they are going to pit. They are going to pit for tires. And I was going to pit as well. And then I said, you know what? We're going to stay out. I'm going to stay out because I want to guarantee a top 25 here. We're running P16 right now. I think if we stay out, We only got 2 laps. I think we can get a better finish than 16th. Chastain, Bell, Logano, Gregson near your top 4. Logano as well, trying to solidify himself into the round of 12. We're back racing now, and as the green flag flies, it's between Chastain and Christopher Bell here for the win with 2 laps to go. And can we hang on to a top 25 as Larson rips around the top, followed by Chase Elliott, now Hosebars to my outside. Here comes Alex Bowman. 1 lap to go here from Bristol, and Ross Chastain looking to go to victory lane for Trackhouse Racing. He's going to have to hold off both Bell and Logano. We're getting swarmed left and right, but we're hanging on still in the top 15 through turn 3 and 4. Chastain high, Logano low. It doesn't matter. Chastain's going to take victory, and Bristol will hold on to P14. What a race, man. That was insane, and we managed to get a respectable effort out of it, and Ross Chastain picks up his first win of the season, not in the playoffs, of course. Chastain missed out because of the different winners that we had, and we end up in 14th place. We will gladly take that. We finished better than that 16th spot we were in, so overall, that was a great move to make right there for us, as Riley Herbst ends up at the very bottom of the grid. The 12 drivers have been determined to be into the next round. Bubba Wallace, Reddick, Buescher, Briscoe all start this next round outside of the playoffs. Cindric as well had made it through there into P7 to start this round. Allmendinger, Nemechek, Van Gisbergen, and Jones all out in this round of 16 as Denny Hamlin starts as your top seed. We head into New Hampshire, which is going to be a very interesting one, a very low grip racetrack, so that's going to be quite fascinating. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. We kick off a new round of the playoffs where we continue to disrupt the field. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.